Let's talk about the weather now. Hope you enjoyed this gorgeous day we're having today because things are about to take a drastic turn.
Pretty drastic. Kim Castro and David Paul here. Give us team coverage on the next cold front. Kim, we're going to start with you.
Yes, sunny and truly very mild today, and that's how our first half of our Wednesday is going to shape up too. But the second half of it, big changes. We're watching for a cold front, so already by around 4:30, we'll see some shower activity bubbling up. It intensifies as we head into the evening hours and then wrapping up into the overnight hours for early Thursday. Now, we will have the potential of about a half an inch of rain with this system. Some spots getting closer to an inch, like Katy is what the models are hinting at, maybe some isolated areas with an inch and a half, but this is pretty moisture starved. Three ingredients for some severe storms. Moisture, we don't really have much of that. Lift, we've got the front, and instability, we do have instability. Cold air clashing with that warm air, so for that reason, we are under a marginal risk to see some sort of severe storms bubble up, with the main threats being some gusty wind, some small hail, and we're not ruling out the possibility of seeing some sort of a turning mechanism, potentially an isolated tornado. But lingering effects from this front, and our chief meteorologist David Paul is tracking those impacts. Could get interesting after that front passes.
Interesting to say the least. And Kim, you and I spent the better part of this afternoon trying to figure out if we're going to end up seeing some snow with this going into Thursday night. And here's what the models are saying. First of all, we'll start with the American model. We go into Thursday morning. We're cold, temps in the 40s. We go through the day on Thursday and temperatures don't warm up. In fact, they drop during the day on Thursday. And we get into Thursday 8 o'clock. And we begin to see a little bit of pink showing up in the model here. Again, this is the American model. So that pink is suggesting that we may see some snowflakes begin to mix with the light rain and a cold rain from Brenham to Conroe to Huntsville to Livingston early on Thursday evening. And we go into Thursday overnight into the wee hours, 3, 4, 5 a.m. Friday morning. This is in particular 4 a.m. Friday morning. And the American model suggests we're going to have a swath of snow or rain mixing with snow across the area from Columbus to Tomball to Sugar Land, maybe just north of you, to Bush, up to Humble, Kingwood, Dayton, Liberty, and Cleveland. Now you'll notice temperatures are forecast to be above freezing. So anything that does fall snow-wise or sleet-wise will not stick. And because of that, we don't expect to see any travel issues if indeed we end up getting a little bit of snow mixing with rain going into Thursday night and early Friday morning. And then the show is all said and done going into Friday by 10 a.m. This is because of a split jet, the cold air being pulled south by the northern branch, and then moisture and energy coming across from the south on the southern branch. That will be very busy overhead Thursday night into early Friday morning. That's the lifting mechanism for the possibility for rain mixing with some sleet or snow. All that being said, the European model, another model that we lean heavily on, says no. We're not going to see any of that frozen stuff, maybe a little bit of light rain south side going into Thursday night, and then nothing overnight into Friday morning. So, Kim, none of this possible winter weather is set in stone, but it is possible and something we'll be watching carefully. And then temperatures begin to drop, don't they? Yeah, at least the models are agreeing on that, the temperature forecast, and we will continue to cool. So Saturday already cooling off, but then Saturday morning, Friday we're cooling off, Saturday morning getting even cooler, below the freezing mark now. Livingston waking up to 29 degrees, Huntsville 28, College Station 28. Same deal for Brenham, getting close to the freezing mark in Tomball Bush, waking up at 34 degrees. So one thing we can bet on, it's going to get chilly behind that front, whether or not we see that first wintry mix of the season. You wouldn't believe it based on what we're seeing outside right now. 72 degrees, incredibly mild. We're seeing temperatures increase all due to that southerly flow. We've got increased moisture coming in. That is going to allow for some more cloud cover to develop tonight, but those temperatures stay nice and mild. We will be only dipping down into the low 60s tonight, but then you see that sharp temperature drop and temperatures linger in the 50s for the most part for this remainder of the 7-day forecast. So chilly, chilly days ahead.
Waiting for that big drop. Thank you, Kim.